Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just trying to make my image a little smaller. No, impossible. Okay, fine. Hi, my name is Inbaal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch. And tonight we are going to be doing some readings absolutely free for anybody watching. So please don't be shy and join us. If you're watching us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, live right now, you're able to send messages to the screen by typing them on your platform, like this. Like this message from Marcus, friend to the show and psychic himself, who says, well, you look and sound like Inbal, but are you really Inbal? Answers on a postcard, please. So if you were to send a question, you'd get it answered as well. We have a topic. I hope you can see the topic on your screen, but I'll introduce the topic very, very shortly. I was just off for a couple of weeks just for the Easter / Passover / full moon. So I see that all of you have jumped up to greet me. If you're watching for the first time, if you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead, press the like, press the subscribe, get involved. Any attention that you give the video, even hate messages, everything is cool. Put what you want. That helps us make content for you. So let's have a look at a couple more messages. So we've got Kathy who says good evening. We've got Cam who says very kindly, wow, Inbal, you look amazing. Love the red on you, Cam. Thank you so much. And Nilda who says beautiful soul, blessings, amazing. So if you're new to the channel, what we do here, well, the channel is actually expanding, but more about that not later, in the future. But here on the show, we talk about psychic stuff. We do tarot readings. Here on the show, we get involved for you at home. If you're a reader yourself, let us know. And we basically have an hour that's really just for us. There's people out there that don't believe in anything. They're not even curious. They're not here. It's just us. So let's have fun together. The topic tonight, or today, depending where you are, the topic today is about the first accurate psychic reading that you've had, the moment that it really hit you, the moment it got real. So if you've got fabulous stories to share with the class about reading that you received that just sort of blew your socks off, or something that you didn't believe at the time but then ended up coming true, please let us know. Now we're going to do a few readings because I could see some requests have already come in, and then we're going to get busier with listening to your experiences too. When you write in, don't be shy to let me know whether you're a reader yourself, whether you're interested in tarot, whether you're a learner, whether you're a psychic with many years experience, whether you don't think of yourself as a psychic, but all your dreams always come true, also counts. So Chrissy4403 says, hi everyone. Yes to general, please. Let's do a general reading for you. I'm going to pull out from the Thoth deck 3 cards and just see what general message shows up for you. So very interesting that the number 4, sorry, myself to sit more comfortably. The number 4 is kind of important. Yeah, we've got this one with the number 4 on it, and we have this one that has like the 4 blades in the propeller. So the number 4 is kind of important. It says that you're going from 3 to 4. So it's either going maybe from your 3rd job towards your 4th job, going from 3 kids to 4 kids, going from a house with 3 bedrooms to a house with 4 bedrooms. There's something there about the transition from 3 to 4. It shows you as quite a home-loving, indoorsy person, and it says that the luck that you're searching for is outside. It's outdoors. So find yourself fun things to do, not chores, not boring things, not going to get milk and lettuce. Find yourself fun things to do, things that you'll enjoy, friends to meet up with, to be outside, outdoors, out in nature, out in a, it's okay, an outdoor cafe, a beer garden, also fine. And that will kick the changes into action. So let me know if it makes sense at all. And Mark has a slightly more serious message that says, good evening, Inbal, welcome back, missed you. Hello and welcome to everyone else. Please remember to like and subscribe. And Nilda is saying, can I have a general reading? Thanks. Absolutely. Let's do a little general reading for you and have fabulous look at what's coming up. Listen, the house move card is so strong for you. So that is happening without a shadow of a doubt. But I see you kind of in two minds about where exactly you're going. It shows that you're thinking of an old place. So it could be where you were growing up, where you were a child. So like an old place. And you're also thinking about the place where you lived with your first love. So those two places are kind of vying for attention. The one with the first love looks much luckier, and I feel like that's where you'll end up. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense to you. Let's do a few more messages and then get stuck into the topic. I'll try and remember the readings that made sense to me when it hit home for me. Kathy is greeting quite a few of the others. Dal is saying welcome back to all. Chris is being thankful. Thank you, Chrissy. Sabrina says hola, buenas tardes. Buenas tardes to you as well. If tardes is an S, how come the buenas is an as? Oh, I need to ask my phone. Maybe it'll know. Chrissy saying hi, Kathy. Oh, so Marcus is time shifting us, and Marcus says, can I have a summertime reading, please? Thanks in advance. Let's have a look at what's coming up for you in the summertime, Marcus Aurelius. Ooh, I know you haven't been thinking about moving house, but that might be coming up for you in the summertime. It says that there's something problematic with where you're living, and it shows the move as appearing stressful. But when you're the kind of person that doesn't get stressed, then it'll be nice and peaceful. It says that at the moment there's a few new hobbies coming in. I'm calling them hobbies because at the moment there's no financial reward, but that is on the way. Don't worry, that is on the way. There's a few more hobbies coming in, and it says that the creative endeavors are in 3 different avenues. So I know the writing, like the authoring and the songwriting, but there's a 3rd discipline as well, and I actually feel like it might be a play. So maybe taking some of your writing and turning it into a script. Amazing. Marcus is welcoming Sabrina. Kathy says, yes, a reading, please. Absolutely. Let's have a look. A little reading for Kathy. So I'm taking 3 cards for you, and they're really positive, but it still looks like you're in the land of indecision, trying to decide between a more calm, relaxed, restful existence and between going and studying. And I don't know what decision will be best for you, because you need to rest, you need to have the peace, but you want to learn new things and to kind of fire up your neurons so badly. So both are coming up, rest and studies. They're both there. So Salmon Tender, thank you so much for getting involved. The question that you sent, I can't put it to the screen, but it still helps us be seen. So YouTube will be very, very pleased that you sent us a little message. Sandy is saying, blessings Inbaal and all in chat. And Musa is greeting us. It's Musa, isn't it? Marcus is saying, What's my list out of reader yourself? My first reading I recall with you so many years ago about a relationship, how time flies, and now look at us since then. It does fly. I mean, this time um didn't just fly. This is, we're talking like 20 years. The time crawled along, crawled along. Um, I'm assuming King is trying to be clever here and says, I have a Bo Nix rookie card parallel. With stuff like that, put lol on the end so that we all know you're joking to make it easier for the class. So, first, first good story. So, we've got Chrissy says, my friend's mother just passed. Then a day or two later, she came to me with a viola from Mama's family. Come to find out, that was her favorite show. And with viola from Mama's family. Come to find out, it was her favorite show and what was on the TV when her body was removed. That is amazing. So that's something, it's not even a reading that you received, that is something that you experienced yourself. And that is such a crazy story because it sounds like it's something that you weren't even expecting at the time. It just happened because it happened. And to me, that's like the best stories, because some people are just so naturally gifted, like you, that it just kind of happens. And that is extraordinary. If I try to think of the first reading that, that made me think, wow, this is real, it was literally the first reading I received. So when I lived in Greece, I worked in a shop, and the lady who managed the shop, she used to just like shuffle cards, mess around with them. It was, Greek things. And the first time that I said to her, can you see if there's anything around me? I didn't believe in any of this. And she went, I see a man with dark hair. He's overseas. He's going to reach out to you. Do you have a boyfriend? And I was like, no, I don't have a boyfriend. My dad has dark hair. And then my dad rang. It was like within moments, we were still standing there. So, so that to me was a start. It wasn't like mind-blowing in the context of having, incredible readings. It was mind-blowing in realizing that it was, that it was really real. Sabrina says, oh, can I have one for April? So many good things are happening. You've waited long enough for an avalanche of good things. So let's see what we've got coming up for April. Out of all the different things, the money is coming through. How much you've waited, how much you've tried to make it happen, it's coming through. It also shows a change with the workplace. This is not the new job, or not the new job as yet. So it might be that within the workplace, there are some changes being implemented. They work in your favor, and you're going to find out a secret about a woman who appears here as a love rival. Obviously, she's not an actual love rival. Nobody can rival you because you're a queen. But a secret comes to light. So that's all of that in April. And we're already like halfway through April. So this is all happening in like 16 days. That's big. Kathy is greeting Musa. And we have a question from Musa. Is it Musa M or is it Musam? Saying, when will I get a good corporate job? My college is ending soon. Let's have a look. Sending you lots of good vibes for a good corporate job. When? The first connection that you make with that good job is already now. So as you're talking to people, if there's any, I don't know what they call them, like leavers fairs, right, where employers will come and sort of scout around the college, I feel like you're making a good connection already now this month, because this is the card of Aries. And then you get an offer on the table in June. It is a starter position. It is just the beginning. But the fact that you get an offer before you've even got your grades, that puts you well ahead of the curve. Let us know if that makes sense. I don't know how those things work. But yeah, keep me posted. Chris, is it Chrissy? It's not Chrissy, is it? It's Crystal. Thanks for the reading. And Daldal is asking, can you kindly tell me if I'm going back and forth with timelines? Massive, massive question. Let's have a look whether you are going back and forth, or is it not exactly it? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're secretly going back and forth. You weren't supposed to notice. Nobody around you has noticed. So yeah, you have been secretly going back and forth. And this is kind of saving you an incarnation, if you know what I mean, because you're completing 2 lessons at once. This is not really benefiting you in any way, except for when it comes to, you know, to the next go, where you get to skip one go. And let's take another message from Sabrina, and then I'll see if I have another good story. So Sabrina says, ooh, mine was when I did a reading now, a friend who was meeting with a supervisor, she asked me how it's going to go. The card shows she was going to be let go. I also got a new job for her. Turns out she was fired and offered a new job at the end of that week. That is incredible. That's something that is just like proof that is exactly right there. And I think what's fun about like a real specific prediction is that after something like that, the person's going to believe anything you say. So you can't make jokes with them anymore. You can't go, oh, you know, you sure you want to go out? What if like a storm comes and grabs you? And they will not leave the house because they think, well, you know, everything Sabrina says turns out to be right. So, but yeah, I love examples like that. I've got a friend, this is like years ago, he was finishing his university and he wanted to know how his exams would go. Sorry, bit of wealth oil. Talk to me if you need some. Wanted to know how his exams would go. And he had 3 exams at the end of that year. And I said to him, 2 exams are going to go just fine. 1 exam, you fail. You go in appeal. You get the points back that, you know, that you shouldn't have lost. And then you pass. And then exactly that happened. And he's from sort of my same background. Don't believe anything, you know, this is all made up, it's all for other people. He absolutely believed everything afterwards. And that to me was mind-blowing because I was sort of quite a beginner then as well. But I think that the tarot likes to sort of try and prove things to you. So they'll give you those early wins, you know, if you start out and if your heart's in the right place. Marcus says, thanks for checking as always, darling. I'll text you later about some of that, but there is something I've been thinking, but I've kept it secret. Shouldn't have asked about it if it was a secret. Now everybody knows. Fabulous. I've got you guys greeting each other, which is always fun to see. Michelle is saying good day, Inbaal, and to the chat. So Michelle and anyone who joined us just now, we're doing readings, we're sharing stories. The stories are about the accurate psychic readings that came true the moment it got real for you. Could be about a reading that you gave, could be about a reading that you received, could be about a reading that a friend of you received. Something exciting, something positive in the, you know, in the vibe of the Aries season. something enjoyable that a good story that we're all going to enjoy. Marcus says, yeah, I'm good, thanks. I always am. It's hard to explain. Unlike some in society, I wake up in pain. I'm happy because I'm alive. I spend so much time outdoors and literally touching the grass. Yes. It's like a secret thing. I'm flashing up some messages. I know that this is between you guys. And Marcus says, Inbaal's reading for you, Sabrina. That's fantastic news because obviously I've seen how hard it's been for you, so I'm happy for you. Love, love, love it. Sabrina says, I left you a message on what appeared in my account. I'll have a look later. I want to have a look now. I might have a look in a bit. Dal says, I noticed. Yeah, you weren't supposed to, but you know, it is your life. Mark goes, hold on a moment. Has it been Easter at the Honigman household with all those chocolate rabbits behind you? Yeah, there's a lot going on. So if you're new here, I have 4 children, and they have 3 aunties. Well, they've got my uncle as well, but obviously he doesn't celebrate Easter, and my dad doesn't celebrate. They've got 3 aunties and 1 pair of grandparents, and obviously us. So we end up with a lot of chocolate over the Easter season. So we've got this minty one, and that minty one goes with one. This little bag. These, I don't even know whose they are. Oh yeah, we've got a name on them. She doesn't really like the big ones. She has the mini ones. And over there's just as much. But yeah, we love celebrating. There's a message here. I do not want the computer to start being awkward. Sabrina says, thank you. I refuse to let certain things keep me down. Too right. They'll never manage to. Roger says, howdy everyone. Hey everyone, say hi to Roger Blair. And Michelle is welcoming Kathy. And Chris says, never thought of it that way. I've got you greeting each other, and then I've got from Musa saying resonated because I'll be starting a job around June. I'll be starting a job around June after my exams. Just one last thing. Will the package be as expected? So the card that showed up, the job that starts in June, showed 2 potential options. So you might get a choice between the package that was offered and a different one where the benefits are kind of further down the line. So think hard whether you want things exactly as they were offered, or if you'd be happy to negotiate, but you will have the option to keep things exactly as they are. Sabrina says, I was so scared to tell her what the reading said. I thought maybe I was reading it wrong. I think that is really normal because obviously you don't want to upset anybody with your readings, right? You want to uplift. But the fact that you saw another job coming up, I would have led with that. Just sort of say it the opposite. She's like, oh, can you see how my meeting will go? And you're like, well, I see you starting a new job. Everybody happy? And then how the meeting will go. But when I was a young reader, well, I was young, full stop, I did a reading for a friend of mine. I was staying in her house at the time, and she's like, oh, I don't really believe in it, but can you just sort of practice on me? And I practiced on her, and her boyfriend was living very far away at the time, and I saw him cheating on her, and it was like so unlikely because he was such a dream boyfriend. Like everybody wanted a boyfriend like him, and it was true. He had cheated on her, and obviously she was so devastated when she found out it was true. He rang her, he confessed, and she was obviously furious as well. And then when she got through all the emotions, she was like, you should open a shop and charge people hundreds of pounds for your readings because you're so good. Which, I didn't really need a shop. I've got the social media, and I like to keep my prices affordable so that everyone can access. But point taken, it was amazing to have that kind of feedback from somebody who, who was just my French. It would have been really easy for her to say, it wasn't very good, but it was like so on the nose. There's other details in that reading that I don't want to share that made it sort of even more insane because we knew who he cheated on her with. Crystal says, I have a friend who kind of voice readings because my cards tend to tell the truth and always call him out. Lol. And I love the emoji that he went like, oh, what are we gonna do? Yeah, if you're right, you're right. Well, are we gonna enjoy, are we gonna enjoy you being wrong? No, we're gonna enjoy being right. So Musa says, thanks for the reading. Came here for the first time. So glad to be here. Love from India. Love to India. Make sure you give us a like or a heart or a subscribe or a follow, depending where you are. It all helps. And not just Musa, any of you that is watching right now, press the like button. Make sure that we get a bit of love. Actually, if you can still hear me and see me, I've got a question and a story from Instagram. So when we broadcast on all the different channels from here, from this studio, we can see all the comments coming through. We can see your likes. I can see now that when I said press the like, nobody did it. I can see. But it doesn't connect properly to Instagram. So in order to see the messages that come through from Instagram, I've got to just sort of switch browsers. So first of all, I'm going to read you the story, then I'm going to do the question. So it's for Adrian DeVay, who says, when I was a teen, an angel psychic told me my long-lost sister was looking for me, and it completely unexpected as I hadn't told anyone ever about her. That's something, right? That's something. And Adrian also says, may I have a reading about a choice on whether I should end my relationship? I'm wavering on a decision. Let's have a look, Adrian from Instagram. Wavering on decision. Keep going or end it. It's coming up very strongly on keep going. It's coming up very strongly on keep going in the relationship. This is the Three of Cups. If you know it, it is the card of true love, of marriage and babies and all sorts of things. And it's telling you that at the moment, the reasons that you want to leave are rooted in fears, anxieties, not in real stuff. Fears, I don't want to say fears and anxieties aren't real, but they're not tangible. See what I mean? So keep going with a relationship. Let me ask if there's any important advice for you to help you keep going with the relationship. Be courageous, it says. So if there's stuff that you want to say and you're afraid of how it's going to be interpreted, still say it. And actually, now that I'm looking at my Instagram screen, I can also see that Sarita Blake says, anything for me? Let's just whip one card and see what's there, right? I don't know if you're still watching, but if you are watching it afterwards, this one is for Sarita Blake. And it says that you like juggling lots of things at once. And that is a very lucky way for you to run the world. Yeah. So as you're doing lots of different things and as you're sort of juggling all different aspects of life, it says, keep going. I know you're exhausted. Keep going. Even if you want to add some extra stuff, keep going. You absolutely can do this. Sabrina says, I'm a little jelly that now is green where you live. I live in the desert. Yeah, we had hail yesterday. I'm not even joking. And last week we had multiple days that was sunshine and hailing. It's been really, really, really bonkers because you go out of the house and you're like, well, what do I need? A raincoat or a vest? Um, Marcus is chatting to Sabrina. Musa's sending a heart. Michelle is welcoming Roger. That's right. Sabrina and Marcus chatting. Orion is here. Sorry, Orion Starseed. Hi, Orion. I haven't seen you in forever, forever, forever. Oh, is that for me? Sorry. And you managed to keep your friends and family life separate to your work life to a degree. And I think it's excellent. I respect that. I do my best to do my best. It's not easy because because I am me and I don't work like in a business. I kind of am the business. So the business also has 4 kids. So it's not easy to keep everything separate, but I'm glad that you're noticing. And Sabrina says to Marcus, I want to move by the water. That's my goal. Get out of the desert. Yeah. A senior trip to Europe. Do it. Do it. We'll be here. We'll be here. We're not going anywhere. Musa is leading the way for everyone, saying already liked and subscribed. See? Everybody listen carefully. Khalid is here, I think for the first time. Hi, Khalid. Great to see you here. Welcome. Crystal says, as I always say, they aren't our messages. We're just the messengers. I think that's very, very true. And I think when you don't deliver the message, all sorts of weird things happen. Like in my experience, all sorts of weird things happen. Marcus is saying to Sabrina, I remember you saying about wanting to travel Europe. Bless you, not long really. Before you know it, you will be touring Europe. Europe is nice, if I'm honest. The beauty in Europe is like all the antiques. It's like, there's really ancient stuff like literally everywhere. And if you just sort of wait a couple of years, all that's going to change is they're going to be a little bit older. It's not going to make them worse. It'll make them better. So when you get here, it'll be a good time to get here. I think we've caught up with all the messages, right? Right. I think we've caught up with all the messages. So amazing, amazing, amazing. Crafty has stepped into the perfect moment saying, can I get a general reading, please? Absolutely, Crafty. Tell your friends we're here. Make sure they know about us. And do you know what, Crafty? I was not expecting, with a name that creative, I was not expecting a reading that practical. So it says that there is an improvement in your financial life. And it shows that at home, everything is going to be neater, more organized, tidier. So if you're right in the middle of a kind of tidy, not session, a tidy festival, then it will come to an end. It'll just sort of, it takes time, but it will come to an end. Financially, things are moving in the right direction. And also, this does show a creative project. It's just that I was expecting 3 out of 3 to be creative. This shows a creative project, and it says it's something that's going to take you about a month. It's something that is big. It benefits the whole house or the whole household, and it's something that makes you feel happy and warm. Since I've got the word warm, not warm, then I'm thinking, could it be like a blanket, like a duvet, like a quilt, something like that? But yeah, it's bringing up the warmth aspect there as well. Oh, there we go. So Marcus says, can I be cheeky? Can you check on N? I mean, it's been a few months since you know what, and I haven't been able to see. Let's have a look how he's coping with his tragedy. He's finding it hard. He's finding it hard. He is moving on from it. this is where having faith really works so well for him, because he's thinking, well, he's gone to the good place, he's fine there. And it says that it'll be around August that he starts to think that maybe it's time for him to start investigating. So August is an important time, and in a really kind of perverse way, he wouldn't have reached that conclusion in August if it weren't for the fact that the tragedy happened to him. So that's a very bizarre silver lining there. And sorry, the messages that are not for me, I'm flashing them so that you see that they're here, you see that I saw them, but the person that you're sending them to already acknowledged. So Mark is saying, my second reading was with Fran McDonald. She had just started, and she gave me some excellent advice, which still stands to this day. And the advice since has been mega. Yeah, I was thinking about her this week. What came up? What was I thinking about her? I can't remember what it was, but yeah, she was on my mind. She was on my mind as well. Let me try and think. Do I know any other really good stories? I want to give a good story because I feel like I gave all the stories for stuff that I'd got right, but I want to give some good stories about things that sort of came right that were read for me. And one of them is actually with one of my old colleagues called Anne Scholes. If you're a fan of old episodes of Psychic TV, available, well, barely available around the YouTube communities, but there's really not many of them. So Anne Scholes, who used to work with me in London and now lives down the road from me, very, very far from London, was checking a quick something for me once on a break in between show segments. We worked on Psych TV together, and she said that my husband, then boyfriend, would pass all his accountancy exams. The way she said it, though, was so mind-blowing. So she used to read less tarot, like she reads tarot as well. She teaches tarot. She's very good at it. But she used to read more oracle cards at the time because she's so psychic. She doesn't even need the tarot. She doesn't even need to turn over an oracle card. She could turn over a leaf and do your full reading for me. She's incredibly gifted. And so she was just sort of with oracle cards, angel cards. And I said to her, will he pass all his exams? He had like all his exams inside like 3-4 days. And she said to me, how many exams are there? And I said, there's 4. And she turned over a card and said, can you see the word on it? And I was like, yeah, I can see the word forgiveness. So what does it mean? She's like, forgiveness. He's going to pass all 4 exams. And I was like, well, that's really not how grammar works. But she was adamant and she was right. Incredible, isn't it? Crafty says, I'm practical, which is, so funny because I was saying that the reading, your cards showed up like really practical, and I was expecting really creative cards to show up. So you're confirming I'm crafty. And then I saw a project of making something warming, like a duvet, like a blanket, like a quilt. And Crafty says, I'm making a quilt blanket for my granddaughter. And then correcting the spelling. That's fine. You don't need to spell perfect. I understand it. So that is beautiful confirmation. Thank you so much, Crafty, and wishing lots of luck and happiness and good health for your granddaughter and for yourself. Marcus says, there is also your bestie and my friend Laura. It was actually if I should take a job at Psyche Interactive, bless her, and Anne Scholes for. I forgot her. Love her. I don't know how you can forget her. She's incredible. But yeah, we all kind of sort of work together What was the advice that you got from Fran? If I'm allowed to ask him, I'm allowed, you don't have to say in front of everybody. I feel like beginner's luck is very important in tarot. You need to be a certain age to get the joke, because in a Friends episode, there is a fake game called Cups. It's not a real game. It's just something that they make up in order to give Joey money, so he always wins it. And then he tries to play it, loses all his money, and he says, I think beginner's luck is very important in Cups. So I think beginner's luck is very important in tarot, because I believe, and it might not be a belief shared by everybody, I believe that there is some kind of a wisdom, some kind of an intelligence that is tied up with the tarot, something universal. And I think that thing, whatever it is, really wants for everybody to believe in it. And so when you just start out, I think that entity, that energy, whatever it is, whatever you'd call it, will let you have it easy when you have a reading. It will let you, find things simple and straightforward in order to have you sort of come into the fold. Mark says, then there is Katie Keeley, who advised me about my health at one point just after I was diagnosed. Still close with Katie now. She's down the road from us as well, isn't she? Blackpool, is it? Crafty says, thank you. You're spot on. Thank you. I love hearing that. That's very kind of you, Crafty. Make sure you come and visit us again. I'm here more or less every week, more or less the same time. Anita, welcome, Anita, says, hi, Inbaal and all. Could I get a reading, please? The company I work for is looking at redundancy, hours being cut. How will this work out for me? Let's have a look. So we're looking at several options, really. Let's look at all the different options and see what's more likely, what seems to come by itself. So the different options, I think, would be redundancy for you. No. Hours cut for you. Possibly. Everything stays the same, more or less. And the thing I wanted to add on it is really sort of for you, whether to stay or leave. I think stay or leave is like one of the best things to do in the tarot, because it kind of includes all the different options in the question. What I mean by that is that even if you're not going to be made redundant, even if your hours won't be cut, but if there's like a better opportunity for you elsewhere, that will show up if we do stay or leave. So let's ask, stay or leave? A great opportunity, a great, well-paid, established opportunity comes in 1 month. So we're right in the middle of April now. We're looking at the middle of May, or the new moon in May. And that opportunity will be better for you than where you are now, even if where you are now are not going ahead with the redundancies and are only sort of cutting a few hours here and there. So a better opportunity is on its way. Keep your eyes and ears open in 1 month. Let me know if that makes sense, Anita. And lovely to see you here. I don't know for sure that I've seen you here lots before. So welcome to the fold. Marcus shares from his past reading, saying the advice that Fran gave me was, if someone is going to be there for you, then they will. And if they run away, then let them. They are not worth your time or energy. Yeah, I think let them is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful piece of guidance for your life. In fact, I don't know if you know Karen Kay, that runs the fairy events, right? The fairy festival, the Three Wishes festival. She uploaded a picture to her Facebook today that was just like a car window that had a sticker on it that said, let him, let them, let them. Such good advice. Let them is good. Sorry, my screen got stuck a little bit. Sabrina says, Inbaal, so many readings you did for me came true, particularly when I was going through my court cases. Do you know, Marcus will remember when we worked on Psychic Interactive, we would get instruction after instruction as they took away the kind of things we're allowed to talk about, because it was on actual television. So we were kind of skidding on the edge of acceptability anyway. But the first thing we were told not to talk about was legal stuff, court cases. Was it pregnancy? No, pregnancy might have been the first one. Marcus, was pregnancy or was legal stuff the first? It was kind of a race to the bottom. And there are a lot of working psychics right now who learn their craft or hone their craft in front of psychic TV in the UK. And they think that psychics are not allowed to give legal advice. Now, obviously, we're not allowed to give legal advice, but we are allowed to do readings about legal stuff because, you're a grown up, that it's advice from a psychic is not the same as advice from a solicitor. But one of my favorite things to do is sort of not advising, but reading about legal matters, because legal matters is like maths. It can be really cut and dried. You do A, then B happens. You do X, then Y happens. And I find that process very, very comforting. So at the moment, I've got a regular client who's going through a really horrific situation. I'm not allowed to talk a lot about, but it has to do with the family courts. The family courts are a closed court, and it's closed for all the wrong reasons. And the process that she's going through is a process that is very, very, very extremely, 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 extremely rare to win. And she's winning. She's days away from winning. The adversary that she's up against is not yet giving up, but she's days away from winning. And she credits the win to me. Obviously, it's not me. I don't come up with any of the advice. I just sort of read, the universal wisdom. But I adore touching on that kind of stuff. It's not that we're not allowed. It's just that, we're clearly not lawyers. But funnily enough, at the very, very start of Psychic TV, I was doing a broadcast with my friend Harry, who has the full diploma in Chinese medicine. He studied for years. He's done so well. He has letters after his name, diploma on the wall. And we were on TV and he was giving advice on Chinese medicine. And the producer came in. He's like, you're not allowed to do that. We can't give that kind of advice. So Harry brought his diploma. It was framed in glass and everything, brought his diploma and showed him. It's I am allowed. And the producer was like, I don't care. We can't do. So a lot of ridiculous stuff happens. The Crystal says, so true. Spirit also comes through with its own sense of humor sometimes too. Fun confirmations. How true, how true. I think it goes not with the psychic, but with the person asking the questions, that if they're somebody with a strong sense of humor, then Spirit will give them the message with a lot of fun. Whereas, if they're sort of quite serious, then their messages will come a little more chilled out. Marcus says, yeah, Katie's in Blackpool. So many psychics we're still in touch with, because there is no ego with any of us, unlike other professions, and it's there for life when we stop or have to leave. I can only think of one name that was a big ego and was also not gifted at all. And he's the only one that nobody is really in contact with. But all the rest of us are still kind of, friends, acquaintances, colleagues. Robert, I'm switching over to the Instagram because I saw your message come through on the YouTube. So on the Instagram, Robert says, scraping in at the last minute to come say hi. And then he goes, swap to YouTube. Hi, all. Anita says, thanks. I shall definitely be keeping my eyes open for any opportunities. Good to hear. Good to hear. Marcus says, yeah, we're not allowed. Legal issues first, then fertility, then bit by bit, everything. Yeah, that's right. So Rob remembers those days. Didn't they stop finances too? Medical, legal, financial. And all right, he is remembering more. And then for entertainment purposes only. So actually, entertainment purposes is like an entire UK law. So I have to have it even on like my own website. It's not just for broadcasting. Whereas like the medical, legal, financial, and in the end, they even added serious relationship problems. What else? What else is left? What am I advising you on? Am I advising you on what color to wear in the morning? Also very important, but that's not what we do. But yeah, the entertainment purposes are only is for everybody and for like advertising and everything. Oh, look who made it here. Crystal, I hope you're feeling well, a little bit better, that Easter wasn't too difficult. Marcus says, can you imagine if I couldn't do legal matters, but also fertility? There were ways and means around it. Okay, it's funny because Marcus always knows if somebody's about to have a baby, and he always knows when and what. Sabrina says, sending her lots of good vibes. Yay! Vibes. Crystal is greeting everyone. Hello, my beautiful friend. Hello, my stunning darling. Marcus says, I'm loving that she's winning. Obviously, I know how they work. I'm being a Mackenzie friend in the past. Wait for the book. Yeah, you know what? It took such a lot of restraint for me to not just send her the original copy of the book. But I was like, no. I was trusted with this just to look and read. But yeah, she's very close to winning. Again, I don't want to say too much, but she's got further than anyone I've heard of in that situation. I've had quite a few friends who were in that situation. Crystal says, only if time. Was there a cheeky spirit at my aunt's last night that did not want us figuring out who it was? Let's have a look. Yeah, there is time. Was there? Not exactly. Wasn't exactly a cheeky spirit. It was something that is attached to the place, but it's not like somebody who passed, if that makes sense. So it's a different type of, entity, different type of, being. Sabrina said, I know you helped me so much when I was going through it. You're too kind, too kind, too kind. Greeting everyone. Sorry, I'm rushing a bit because we're coming to the end of the show. Just got a few minutes left. Dada says, I believe tarot cards are truth tellers. They are. They can be really cruel sometimes. Universe truth is always real. Fascinating to me. I love it. Thanks for all that you do. I feel exactly the same way. I love it. I would say I'm like addicted to tarot. I'm like obsessed with the tarot. I love it. I love having it in my life. I love being involved in it. Marcus says, do you mean the initial GC? Can't put his name on there, but it's who I think, but his ego was so big that he could block out the sun with his head. Actually, I meant CH. So yeah, it's funny that it's the boys, right? Right, so we've got everybody greeting everybody. Last few minutes. Righto, listen, I'm not going to hold you up too long. I feel like we all got the readings that we wanted. We all had a great time. I'll be here next week. If there's a specific topic that anyone wants me to do, let me know. You can get hold of me on my Instagram. You can get hold of me on my website. You can get hold of me in person if you want some wealth oil or some love oil. I'm available for readings throughout the week, and I've also got some tarot courses and some witchy lessons. So I appreciate you spending this time with me. I appreciate you sharing those stories with me, and we will see each other very hopefully next week. Make sure you remember, make sure that your algorithm knows that you'd like to meet again. See you very soon.
YouTube channel near you.